words matter a lot. Words matter a lot to people, to groups of people, and I think, show respect for people. We should try to understand when it changes and when people want to be referred differently and why. I'll be totally honest. I'm not a fan of many, if any, labels. I don't even think that disabled really gets to the heart of things. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, and neither does the term able-bodied. Like, what do those things mean? What does disabled mean to you?
This able part of machinery.
Part of machinery?
Yeah.
So you think about it in a more literal sense?
Yeah.
Something's not functioning.
Yeah.
If you take the government's definition through the coverage of the ADA, alcoholism, mental illness is included. So with that assumption, or with that inclusion, or those inclusions, then I would say everyone is technically disabled. Everyone is not in a perfect state of health at any one point in time.
Well, you can choose to during you could choose not to, but
Okay.
Can choose not to have these scars ever.
Well, but what if the alcoholic says, or a person who has alcoholism, if you want to not say a label, what if they say, I can't, I don't have that power, I don't know how to stop?
Okay, I'll tell you.
Oh boy.
Like I was told by my parents, don't start.
What? So you think that it should not be included as a disability because there's a choice element?
Yeah.
Whereas people who are in an accident or born a certain way, there's no choice.
Right.
Well, that's an interesting interpretation. I feel that it's important, however way you want to interpret it, it's important to recognize the truth, which I think the truth is, if each one of us, being human, has never been in perfect health at any one given point in time, then you could make the argument that that person has some sort of disability, even if that thing is psoriasis or something internally that you can't even see, such as rheumatoid arthritis, if it's a lighter version of it, or diabetes. We're so resistant to recognize our frailty, our vulnerability as living beings. And that's where we, I think, get to the point of being delusional of reality. We don't even want to accept that we are vulnerable in these areas. If we're so resistant, it creates these divisions, these barriers, these misunderstandings when there are people in this world like Dan and I who bring our disabilities out into the world, and there's no way that we can hide them. They are full front and center. People all over can see it and see it very, very clearly. And people react to us because they see these things and they see us as different, when in fact it's all relative. I mean, yes, there are significant things in my life that I am not physically able to do that really do make a difference, and they make my life more difficult, or they make my life more challenging. Namely, I can't go to the bathroom when I feel like going to the bathroom, usually, unless Dan's around and he helps me out, which he often does. And Dan can't speak very quickly and interject in the conversation and say, "Oh, I don't disagree with that. What are you talking about? Let's talk about this instead." We don't have those luxuries, if you want to call them abilities. But at the same time, you know, there are things that we do have that other people don't, that you would refer to that other person as, quote, able-bodied. So I think it's all relative. And if people were to think of it in this way, or entertain even this interpretation, I think it's a greater acceptance of the truth. If you live long enough on this earth, you will encounter some experience of, quote, disability. And it will affect you however way you let it. If people want to deny it, if they're supremely afraid of it, then you're likely going to suffer a lot more than if you were to recognize your vulnerability and your frailty. When something does happen that is, quote, bad, maybe it wouldn't be as scary. We already know that plenty of people who have gone through injuries, their life keeps going. And most of them don't think that their life is all over because they no longer can walk or can talk the same way. Think about the labels we use because they matter. And think about the language we use because it matters. Oh! I almost had the ability to have the camera drop. But no, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was thought-provoking. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Until next time, keep it Ginchiest.
Cheers.